Imagine you're walking through the forest in autumn. The leaves have changed color and are starting to fall. You're only a few minutes away from the nearest road or house, but you're just far enough off that the only noise you can hear is the sound of leaves scattering in the wind. That's when you see it. A well. A stone structure tunneling down into the earth, dating back who knows how many years. As you peer over the stonework and down the hole, you see a small glint at the end of the darkness. Not the shimmering surface of water, but of precious metals. Coins. This isn't any ordinary well for gathering water. What we have here is a wishing well, a magical structure that has existed in folklore for centuries. My name is Zenonaki, and in tonight's Spook Stop, we're going to take a look at the history and folklore behind wishing wells. First off, let's take a look at just what a wish really is. It's a hope, a desire, a prayer. But in fiction today, we see the idea is used more as a plot device. A wish is presented as a sort of proverbial coupon that the wisher redeems for anything of their choosing. But how did this concept of wishes come to be? Life wasn't easy in the old days. It was common for people to believe that the actions of the world around them were caused by supernatural beings, both good and bad. Not restricted to any specific religion or region, various gods, spirits, and other higher beings were often believed to intervene in people's lives. In turn, it was thought that one could appeal to these spirits for help and maybe even give them special requests. It was believed that smoke floating up into the sky was a way of transmitting one's prayers to the gods above. Thus, it became a tradition to express your wishes before extinguishing a flame. This is, of course, where we get the practice of making a wish before blowing out birthday candles. Similarly, shooting stars were seen as an indication that the gods were watching over you at that particular moment. Therefore, making a wish right after spotting one in the sky was a common way to make sure your prayers were heard. Okay, but if the gods live in the sky like these methods suggest, then what's the deal with wishing wells? Well, you see, in ancient times fresh water was sometimes seen as pure and even divine. A gift from the heavens required for sustaining not only yourself, but the whole community, allowing for settlements and farmlands to thrive around sources of fresh water. So because of this, some believed that angels or other divine spirits resided in the water itself. This led to the practice of tossing valuables such as coins into the water, either to make a wish or just as a way of saying thanks to the spirits. Some believe, however, that this tradition may have something to do with Mimir's well from Norse mythology. Also called the Well of Wisdom, this magical well could grant anybody wisdom in exchange for an equal sacrifice. It was said that Odin himself sacrificed his own right eye into the well in exchange for knowledge of all things. But these magical holes in the ground weren't always in clover, for in some of these wells were said to lurk a kind of monster called the Broadman, aka the Well Man. Found predominantly in Danish folklore, the Well Man is a special kind of monster said to reside in the bottoms of wells, using their oily black skin to blend in with the darkness. The only hint of their presence being their piercing red, glowing eyes. It's said to wait in silence for people or animals to visit the well to gather water, before dragging them in with its unnaturally long arms and drowning them. But it gets worse, as the Well Man gains ownership over the spirits of those who have died in the well, and these spirits are commanded to go out and spread disease among nearby homes and towns. And unlike most malevolent spirits, the Broadman could not simply be driven away using prayers or blessings. There was only one way to get rid of the Well Man: money. Throwing valuable coins into the well was not only said to buy back the souls of those the Well Man had killed, but eventually bribe him into leaving. The Well Man would then seek out another well somewhere else, and the cycle would repeat itself. Folklore aside, there's actually some grains of truth behind this. Imagine one day everyone you know started getting sick. The only connection between them was the water that they drank from. There really was something insidious lurking in the water, but it wasn't any monster or ghost. It was germs. Back in medieval times, it was not uncommon for drinking water to become contaminated by pathogens like bacteria or mold, especially before the concept of sanitation was introduced. What could people have done before the invention of soaps and disinfectants? It turns out many may have been saved by something called the oligodynamic effect. Basically, it's the process of how ions of certain metals are toxic to various microorganisms. Although they never really knew how or why, throwing coins into their wells actually made the water safer to drink by reducing the number of germs floating around in it. When it was so common for people to quickly die off from unexplained illnesses, simply wishing for good health and bribing the local spirits actually turned out to be the smartest route. I hope you all enjoyed the episode. If you did, then be sure to subscribe, as well as hit that bell so you don't miss future uploads. If you use Discord, then you're invited to join the Paranormal Outpost, a place for discussing all things spooky, as well as the Crypt if you'd like to chat about this channel more directly. Links to both of these can be found in the description below. Until next time, this has been Zenanaki, signing off.